No, I need an umbrella.
I don't have an umbrella.
You don't understand. I can't.
Baby, I'm soaking. Let's go. Please, hurry up.
Oh.
Which way was it? Okay, I think we're supposed to go this way, but we might... Ah! Who the hell are you?
It's me. Sorry.
It's okay. You're beautiful.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about emotionally unavailable partners.
Here are 3 signs of an emotionally immature partner from me, a therapist. Number 1 would be they don't do hard emotions for themselves, right? So other than the I'm fine, we're doing great, they don't really go to a deeper place. They just don't know how to do that for themselves. Number 2, consistent with number 1, is that they don't do your hard feelings either. So if you come to them and you're vulnerable and you try to talk about how you're feeling, chances are they are not going to meet you there because they're not sure how to do it. And then lastly, number 3, they don't try to meet your needs, they try to talk you out of having them. And this is a real struggle, right? Because we all have needs and we present them, and then rather than them saying, I want to meet you there, they try to talk you out of having the need in the first place because that seems easier than meeting you there. Now just know, if this is your partner, like, this isn't the end of the world. It doesn't mean they're going to be terrible for the rest of their life. It's just an invitation to do some work. Because here's what I know, is the healthiest of relationships are able to do all these 3 things. And if you can't do them, that is going to be problematic over time.
Being in a relationship with an emotionally unavailable partner can be one of the most traumatizing things that you have ever done in your life. And it'll take a lot out of you. It could be abusive. It'll be cold. It'll feel distant. You know, it'll feel like you are alone, even though you have somebody with you. It'll feel like you're carrying that relationship all by yourself. You know, so this is something that you have to be mentally and emotionally ready for. You have to know what it is that you are getting yourself into, and you have to be ready. How do you deal with emotionally unavailable partners in a relationship? Frankly speaking, if you were going to ask me that question, I would say you don't, okay? I would say you don't deal with them. But just in case you have to deal with them by some fluke, okay, I'm messing around. All right, so being in a relationship with an emotionally unavailable partner. What causes a person to become emotionally unavailable? Usually, this happens in their childhood. It's things that have already happened before you met them. You know, maybe they had a parent that was too strict and criticized them a lot. They didn't have that platform to actually express their emotions openly without feeling judged. So, you know, they kind of shrink back, right? And go into their own shell. So it comes from a place of being scared, a place of fear, of feeling judged and unaccepted. So what they do is that in order to protect themselves, they develop this tough outer shell that is made out of vibranium. It's tougher than that shield that Captain America wields around. You know, the one they gave him in the movie where King T'Challa says, "Get this man a shield." These ones are trying to protect themselves. They are trying to basically not look stupid or not look weak, because they have associated showing emotions as a weak thing. So they don't want to show their emotions. They want to be tough. And because they're scared they're going to get hurt. They're scared they're going to be judged and not accepted. So they're just trying to survive. So what do you have to do? How do you deal with someone who is constantly trying to protect themselves and is scared of dangers that are not seen by you? How do you protect them? How do you make them feel safe?
Someone who is emotionally unavailable can often make someone who is emotionally available feel like their basic needs are too much.
Going back to what caused them to feel this way, you know that they are scared of feeling judged and unaccepted, right? So for you to make them feel safe, you have to create a space where you do not overly criticize them. I want to say you don't criticize them because that will happen, but they just overly sensitive to criticism. So you want to reassure them of your love and your affection for them, and not focus on how you want them to be better at something all the time. Dealing with someone who is emotionally unavailable and tries to protect themselves from having an emotional connection with you would require a lot of self-control, a lot of insight, and a lot of being grounded in who you are. Because if you are not grounded in who you are and you're trying to be in a relationship with such ones, it could take a toll on you. You know, you have to have a good support system. I'm not telling you to confide in everybody that you meet, but you have to have one person that you can confide in and you can actually talk to about what is going on with you, and know that they would have your back, right? Because without the right support, it would drain you and you would lose who you are. That's actually a very tough lesson to learn in life. Their behavior of not wanting to share themselves emotionally with you, sometimes you might think it's because you're not doing something. You're doing something wrong. That is exactly why they are behaving the way that they are. But the truth is that behavior began before they even met you.
I've been your girlfriend for the longest time. Why are you so emotionally unavailable? Growing up, my dad never told me that he loved me, and whenever I cried, my mom said, "Boys don't cry." So now, after I grew up, I just don't know how to express emotions or really open up.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you have any feelings at all? They don't come straight from me.
I get hungry sometimes.
Right? So if you are not grounded and if you are unsure of who you are, you're going to constantly keep second guessing yourself in these relationships, which would be detrimental to you. So you can't take that pattern of behavior from them personally, because when you take it personally, you will have a lot of resentment for them, and you will start to feel like they are doing it on purpose to hurt you, which might not necessarily be the case. You have to be very meticulous in how you approach such a person in your relationship. A person who is emotionally unavailable but wants to actually have a connection with you, is just that it's a difficult thing for them to do. They can be helped by therapy. They can be helped by being self-aware. And you also have to be educated in that behavior pattern so that you know how to handle it. You know, if you have to decide for yourself if you want to deal with that.